Welcome to the Furlo Capital Real Estate Podcast, where we dive into the intricacies of real estate investing. And our mission is to equip people to invest wisely, not only in properties, but in people, so that together we can build our wealth while improving communities. I'm James, and this is my wife, Jessie.
Hi.
Hey, here we are, recording another show. Super fun. Mm-hmm. So we are going to talk about properties, which is super fun. Specifically, we're going to talk about a couple deals that we're looking at. And we're just going to talk about one. That's what we're going to do.
Cool.
And I think it'll be fun. And because I love talking about it, you love talking about it.
Yep.
And so,
it's my most favorite.
Let's
not theoreticals, actuals.
Yeah. So I'm going to, so this one that I want to talk about is kind of a fun one. It's a different one. And I am very much at the beginning stages of it. Mm-hmm. And I'll describe some of my frustrations as well, but we'll get there. So, drum roll. It is a roller rink.
Okay, it's this one.
Yeah. So
okay, let's clarify. It was a roller rink.
Okay, what would you say it is?
It's currently not operating as a roller rink. It hasn't for years.
It's an abandoned building.
It used to be used as a roller rink, and now but it has a wealth of possibilities.
Yes.
That's why you like it.
So, yes, I do. So it is a little bit north of town. That's about 5 minutes north. It's a former roller rink, is what it was. It's 6,400 square feet on the first floor, and then there's 6,400 square feet of an unfinished basement. The outside looks worn and terrible.
Yep.
The roof used to look horrible, but now there's a brand new roof on it. It is sitting on 1.3 acres of land right on Highway 99. And it's for sale. And so we have kids who go to school further down. And so I drive that road.
Yeah.
I drive by it.
At least once a day.
At least once, yeah. Twice if you think about there and back again.
Oh, yeah.
Right? And recently there was a sign that was put up saying for sale. I was like, oh, really? How much? And so I looked it up. It's for a reasonable price. They're asking $550 for it. And on the sign it said seller financing. I have no idea what that means. But anytime you hear that, it's very intriguing. So I looked up the history of it.
That means creative.
Yes.
Something creative is willing to be done.
Yeah. So I looked up the history of it. Let's see if I can do this off the top of my head. There was an owner who then sold it for $37,000, something like that.
Oh.
Not much.
How long ago?
It was a while ago, but they sold it to a roller derby group.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I don't remember the dates on this because I was just quickly perusing it. And then they ultimately sold it to another individual.
Okay.
For it's like $137,000, somewhere like that. And now it's on the market for $550, which is kind of tells you where the market's at.
Yeah.
For what is probably a worse property.
Oh yeah, I would imagine it's in worse condition.
Oh, 100%. Outside of the new roof piece, which was genuinely that was probably $50,000 roof job, just because it's big and it's hard and it's 2 floors and it's on a pitch and all that stuff, which is probably how they're half justifying the cost. And it's in Corvallis.
I've seen a couple of pictures of the inside, but not the basement. I don't think.
Me neither. I have no idea what the basement looks like.
Who knows what that means?
Yeah, is that
finished?
True? I don't
Can
think.
mean a lot of different things.
I looked it up online, and they did have some pictures of the basement, but they were bad pictures.
Yeah.
They weren't great.
Imagine it's dark and whatever.
Yeah, so the top floor is it's a roller rink, and so that's the main part of it.
Kind of.
And then there's
the way I would describe it is it looks like a big gymnasium, but with beams that are low down, so not like a lifted ceiling like a basketball court or something. But
there's zero
it's just a big
insulation.
Wood floor.
Well, yes, but then there's that half
I guess
wall.
There is kind of a
that kind of
buffer
where you
thing.
have your seating and you put on your not rollerblades. I mean, you can put your skates on. There may be a kitchen. There's probably bathrooms somewhere.
Yeah,
I have no idea.
Interesting.
I haven't been inside. This is probably one of my points of frustration. So I actually reached out to the agent and sent her a text message. Nothing. And so then today I sent her an email. Nothing. And I think I was able to find a potential office phone number. And so I will probably try that one tomorrow and just be like, hey, what's going on? Is this person on vacation or what's the deal?
Right.
It appears that this agent is based out of Portland.
Oh.
And I think that might be playing into
Interesting.
it. I don't know. Here's the other thing. So I actually called first, and her voicemail box was full, which I was just like, really?
So annoying.
But whatever. And then I wonder. I've actually been thinking about this. I wonder if, like, I'm pretty sure mine isn't full because I keep getting voicemails. But like, does there come a point in time where it's full and you just don't even know? You know what I mean? Like, is there a notification you get, hey, your voicemail box full, you need to clear it out? Or is it just you just stop getting voicemails and you go, oh, they just decided not to leave me one? You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, oh gosh, now I'm kind of worried that I'm missing. I mean, I keep getting voicemails, so I'm guessing
like
it's not full.
Okay. I don't know. But that's a thought I've had of, like, is it possible that it's full and you don't even know?
I'm pretty sure
we're gonna give this person the benefit of the doubt.
Our iPhones are like, they'll just get rid of things or just store it because why not?
I have no idea.
Ugh.
Anyways, it's one of those technology things that
weird.
You just try not to think about because for the most part it always works. But anyways, try to get a hold of her. Haven't got a hold of her yet.
No.
And my step one will be like, well, tell me more about the seller financing thing. And then I want to get a tour.
Yeah.
And I'm like, the tour is even if she, I don't want to say it. Hopefully she doesn't listen to this. Chances of that are pretty small. But even if I hear the terms, I'm like, oh, this would never work for me. I'm like, when are we setting up that tour? Because I think it'd be fun to get inside. I think it's fun looking at weird, unique, interesting properties. So the question is, what do you do with this place?
Well, we've brainstormed a bunch of different.
Yeah, give me some of your least favorite ideas.
Okay, my least favorite ideas are probably like keeping it as a roller rink because it's like, well, that didn't work. So, which fair. I mean, maybe there were other factors, and so you're like, okay, maybe we could revive it. Because
there's some movie
80s.
Theaters that are closed down. Like Regal just announced another round of bankruptcy. No, Regal did back in 2001. Right. There's another one, I think it's in California, that just announced bankruptcy. But AMC's doing great.
Yeah.
So like maybe do the AMC of roller rinks. But no, you don't like that idea.
Possibility, right. But I'm thinking maybe not.
I should also mention there's like zero insulation in this place. It's essentially a fancy pole barn. So that's just another like thing to keep in mind here for people.
So some sort of like sporting thing might be good because it's cold. It's gonna be cold in there. It's gonna take a lot to heat it.
It's either gonna be cold or it's gonna be hot. One of the two.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not a super fan of like turning it into like a workout spot.
Oh, okay, like a gym.
Yeah, gym. I mean, it is just a big room, so I think you could do that, but I just don't know if there's like a need.
My
for that
concern
in that area.
with that idea is that the roller rink is on the second floor, and I just don't know how heavy something can get. I mean, it's got to be fine because they've presumably had a bunch of people going around in circles on it, but like I think like gym equipment's pretty expensive.
Expensive and heavy.
Sorry, that's what I was thinking. I was thinking both actually, but very heavy, and also it's like just the startup costs. I think you'd spend just as much on the gym equipment as you did on the property.
Interesting.
Yeah. And okay, so you don't like those ideas.
Those are maybe.
One idea that was thrown out was like a makerspace. I've had a couple people.
Yeah, that was interesting to me. So a makerspace is like you have all the tools there, like a bandsaw and a welder and like actual like workshop types of
and
tools.
A glow forge. And, and
all the things you wouldn't necessarily want to buy.
Correct.
And store at your house.
It might be nice to have.
But you could like, how does that work?
And you could use potentially the lower basement part or parts of it for storage. Like keep your stuff there so you're not hauling it back and
like
forth.
Storage locker or whatever.
Yeah,
keep your projects
something like
there.
that.
That could work. Yeah,
I could see.
Or you could like, there's enough land around it. You could put storage lockers kind of around it as well.
I like the way you think.
You know. Because I could see that if you're working on a boat or, you know, some sort of table or project that you're like, yeah, I'm not going to carry this back and forth. Like, you could just move it outside and inside.
Yeah, and you could host classes, teach people how to use all the different tools, especially some of the more technical ones. Like going and learning how to 3D print could be kind of cool.
Okay, I have two questions about this. So, how does like a pricing structure work for a space like that? Like, do I pay like a monthly subscription?
Yeah,
I can use it whenever?
You'd have a membership fee.
Okay, so how do I know that like it's not going to be packed when I want to go work on my stuff? Like, do I reserve a time slot?
That's a good question. I haven't really thought about that.
You have rotation of when things are available or something? Because that would be like, as a maker myself or artist, whatever, that would be super annoying if I wanted to show up to use like the saw or the glow forge, much. I don't even know what that is.
That's where like you can burn either metal or wood or it's like what I do with my hats. I used Glowforge.
Interesting. Okay, so like if I wanted to use that and I showed up,
you could have a CNC machine. You could have all sorts of
it was
crazy
like
stuff.
Busy, and someone was like, "Oh, this project is going to take me like 5 hours." I'd be like, "This is so annoying."
That's a good question. Yeah, maybe they have some sort of reservation system for certain things. And I think like if you had like 3D printers, you would want them to pay for the material. The machines are free; they're available, but like there's some of the things where it's like, dude, this is like. You got to pay for the material.
So somehow you'd have to manage and structure all that.
Yeah, and I think part of the trick is to not have a bazillion members, right? If you only have, like, for example, if you only have 20 members, the chances of it ever being full are pretty low. Well, if you have 1,000, that could cause a problem.
I guess it depends on how much people can use
it. And maybe part of the trick would be create some sort of super simple, like, membership app that allows you to reserve things as well. And
I could see that, like at the library, they have these rooms, and it's like you don't necessarily have to pay money, but it is kind of like available first come first serve, but like the time frame when it's going to become available again.
Yeah, interesting.
And so you can like something similar to that, or you could block out your time or whatever. Yeah, that's solvable.
Yeah. Another idea that I had that I love. Oh, are you still on the makerspace? Yeah.
Yeah, the makerspace is super intriguing to me.
Go ahead, keep going.
But I'm also like, how do you deal with the liability of like people who don't know how to use these machines?
Yeah, that's just what insurance is for, and you have to factor that into the business model.
And probably you just post like, use at your own risk. Like,
yeah, exactly.
We don't have trained professionals here.
There's some waivers that would have to be signed, and you'd probably have cameras everywhere, just not only for theft purposes, but just for like. So we can document how did he end up cutting off his finger, that kind of stuff.
Okay. Anyways, not typically things you have to think about when you're buying a property.
My other option that I love is we sell this house and move in there.
No.
It becomes our house.
No.
Dude, that'd be such a huge house, a 12,000 square foot house.
No, it would just be a big fat room.
Well, you could
also
you could add
no insulation.
You could add rooms with insulation. It'd be so fun. We'd be the cool house.
Would we?
I agree. We're not going to do it. I love this house and its location, but it sounds cool. So here's okay. All right. So here's what's intriguing. So this is, I'm going to head down a little bit of a rabbit hole. Okay. There are great things about investing in real estate, and there are also shortcomings with investing in real estate. And one of the issues with, say, residential real estate is that you're beholden to the market. You can buy a place, you can fix it up, make it better, bring it up to market rates.
I do have another use idea.
Okay. You can bring it up to market rates. And then once you do that, now you're playing along with the market. And in Oregon specifically, you can only increase rents once a year, and it's capped by how much you can do. And so your potential income earning, is that right? Potential income earning potential, whatever, is kind of capped. Right. So like, let's say for whatever reason, you and I were like, hey, like it would be awesome to, increase our income by like $5,000 a month or something like that. Some crazy number. There's no amount of hustling that I can do for our current rentals to increase the revenue.
Okay.
Just can't happen.
You would have to get more rentals.
My only choice would be to sell a place, find another fixer-upper, add the value that way, and then I could have increased income.
But then you have to keep doing that.
And then you have to keep going. And honestly, that's part of the strategy behind a syndication. That's why you only hold on to a property for 3 to 5 years. And the only reason why you're holding on to 7 is for whatever reason those numbers just didn't work, and you got to hang on for the market to catch up. Like that is a shortcoming of real estate. You can't just hustle and grow. Like for example, if you had a pizza franchise and you're like, man, this is going great. Like I'm going to open up another franchise, and I get it. There are other expenses, there are other complications with it, but in theory, there's like, if I wanted to increase our income, if I wanted to double it, there's a way to do that. And I could just keep going easily by like doing more of the thing I'm already doing by hustling. Does that make sense?
But isn't that the same as just buying another rental?
It's different because, okay, I hear what you're saying. So like maybe within the pizza franchise world, let's say, okay, yeah, that's an interesting point. I see what you're saying. there's things I can even do within the store to get more income. For example, I can raise the prices. Now, we can talk about supply and demand and whether or not that would work or not. I could change up the menu type. I could add, say, alcohol to what we're doing and get more that way. I can host events to bring in more people.
And you're saying those things are just more limited with real estate.
Yeah, exactly. You can't just add more units. You can't say, we're going to do community events every week.
You can
to get you
somewhere
to pay more rent.
Kind
like,
of,
not
but not.
Yeah. It's a lot harder.
Yeah.
Whereas if you have a business, there are all these revenue generating opportunities, and you can, yes, you're limited, but like there's a lot more things you can do.
Makes sense.
That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So what's intriguing about this one is it is a commercial piece of property. And so it leans more towards the pizza franchise style rather than the residential style, which just allows for some interesting possibilities.
Which, honestly, like if I look at it, and this, I think this is something we talked about, where it's like you would put this deal together as a real estate deal. So you're buying the land, the building, and you're setting it up so that you have a quote unquote resident or client who's
a tenant.
Yeah, a tenant. Someone who's using the space and paying rent to use the space.
There's that option. I could buy it and rent it out to someone else who then runs their business out of it.
Which would be very similar to the real estate model that you're...
Well, and that's what we're doing with warehouses, right? I understand warehouses, but I don't do anything there.
Right.
I just have tenants, and we're on leases, and they ratchet up every once in a while, and it's a thing. Yeah. So that's totally something that we could do. There's another intriguing option, which is saying, well, what if I start a business that utilizes this space? And the idea that I like the most, and I think is intriguing, is for it to become a wedding venue. Because that's something I've talked to enough people. There's a lot of demand. And you can start to add a whole bunch of extras like the pizza franchise to say, hey, what if we also like team up with a caterer or offer chairs and tables, offer a sound system? What if we add a lawn out to the front so you can do it outside with an arbor or something? I don't know.
Sure. Well, like the biggest thing that I feel like, even when we were planning our wedding a ton of years ago, 15 years ago, it was a thing then too, was like, if you choose a wedding venue that's like this commercial spot, and they offer things for you, you often had to use the things they provided.
Yeah, that's
true.
And
it like totally limited your flexibility or your choice. And so that is intriguing to me, to create a spot
like,
that's
for example,
you could use this for food, but you don't have to.
Yeah. Or one of my dreams is when I'm old and like quote in real retirement.
Oh, I know where this is going.
Is to be a wedding DJ. I think it'd be super fun. Like, you got people, you're making them happy, and I would like to announce for the first time, like, super fun.
Oh my word.
Doing music. And of course the irony of it is like I have like struggle with hearing and I don't understand like pitch and stuff, but like I'm just playing like songs, like the mixing's easy. Anyways, I think it'd be super fun to do. Which
they could use your services.
The problem is, see what happened is I saw someone else do that and I was like, that is so sweet. And he's like, yeah, that's what I do on the weekends. I help out with weddings, and he's able to charge a reasonable price. It was so awesome. So anyway. I'm like, I want to do that. So like, yeah, I got to be your wedding DJ.
No, you could be.
I could be
for this particular price,
yes,
which is amazingly reasonable.
Yeah, or I make it unreasonable if I don't want to do it.
True.
Make it worth my while. But those kind of options. So anyways, that would be the thing. And then you could also hold other types of events there.
Sure.
There is so much space there too that one of my other ideas would be to also incorporate a vineyard type of thing into it.
Oh yeah.
Which I think would help with that wedding vibe, because it exudes elegance, I think.
Interesting. Does it have to be a vineyard?
No, not necessarily.
Like, we went to that one wedding.
But I got friends who are...
Well, yes.
Viners? What's the term?
Vignerons?
Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
Yeah, that. I got friends who are that.
I think it's French, maybe.
That sounds right to me.
Vigneron.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Anyways, does it have to be a vineyard?
No.
I know you have friends. Because we went to that one wedding venue that had like a garden setting.
Yeah.
Which also was kind of nice. And
yeah, the nice part about a vineyard is I could rent out that part of the land to other people, and they would pay for
they'd take care of the
space
grapes
of it, and they would take care of all. That's not something I would have to do. Whereas like if you were doing flowers, like, okay, now we're hiring a company to manage all that or something, which I mean is an option, but not maybe my first choice. So yeah, that's anyways, so step one is somehow getting a hold of this agent to get a tour, talk about it.
Nice.
And I have another property that I would sell in order to do the down payment for it, is kind of how I would afford it.
Okay.
Then...
Last comment.
Okay.
We don't even have to discuss this.
Okay.
I'm curious.
Okay.
You should like throw these out and do like a, vote for your favorite thing.
Okay.
What do you call that? Like
take a poll.
Yeah, take a poll of like the general masses. Anyways.
The general masses. Go ahead.
Okay. Another idea. A play space, like think McDonald's play space, but way better.
Okay.
Like super cool trampoline, slide, play space thing for kids with a soundproof wall. And there's like people watching them. I mean,
Sure.
It's not just a free for all. And then a little like amazing cafe on the side where parents could go and hang out and talk. And if they wanted to see their kids, they could, but they don't hear anything.
All right. Okay. That's an intriguing idea.
That does not exist in Corvallis because Wacky Bounce does not count.
No. Well, they don't offer drinks for starters.
Yeah. No drinks.
Yeah.
And you're not even allowed to have food except in the party room.
There you go.
And you have to wash your hands before you go anywhere else,
Dang.
which I get it.
And
it's
Kids
not
are gross.
soundproof at all.
No, it's not. All right. Intriguing idea. The nice part about the wedding venue is it's relatively cheap to get started too, which are like, and by the way, one of the other perks is if you are running a business like that yourself, when you do eventually refinance, you can do an SBA loan. And so you get long fixed interest rate.
Small Business
Association
loan.
Small Business Administration,
Yeah.
SBA. Yeah. And so technically we could actually do that with our storage facility because we wholly own it. And so that is an option for that in the future if we ever want to refinance.
Cool.
Which probably should, honestly. And so that would be what I would do in the future to lock in a long-term thing. Yeah. And it would work really well. And so I'm intrigued by that idea. But we'll see. I don't know. I've got to get a hold of the agent and go from there. Or it's just be a fun dream.
Yep.
All right. Well, if you enjoyed this podcast, and I really hope you did because it's super fun to talk about this kind of stuff, we would appreciate it if you would leave us a quick rating wherever it is that you listen to podcasts. So thanks again for listening and have a great day.